hopefully pay off. It also depends on where they think their opponent is at overall as players. So we'll see how this goes. But we do have both players with the same start and getting a map to Thieves Town in the Sanctuary. This is already looking like a Houlihan play to me.
Well, and that's a really smart play. I really like that myself as well, because you really don't get much money in the Keysanity game out early.
Yeah, it's always a gamble, like thinking that you'll get that big 300 or you'll get 150 rupees by the time you get through Kakariko, enough to get either bombs or a bottle purchased from the bottle vendor. And a lot of times it's just easier to be safe than sorry.
Yes, since bomb drops are less likely to happen as well. And you really need 3 or 4 bombs to get to Kakariko, depending on what's on the race game.
Mm-hmm. You'll often also see, after Houlihan, because it pops you right out at Link's house, they'll just go in, check Link's house, get the item there, and then either go west, the south route to get to Kakariko, because of the guaranteed bomb drops down there. So let's see what they decide to do first.
2 bushes with a 50-50 bomb drop in there. Relatively close to a screen transition, so it's a really good way to farm up some bombs for the early game.
Yeah.
And just a big 20 in Link's house.
Well,
so there's some of that money.
And it looks like they are making the same play.
Oh. Normally we don't see so much sync early game. It's like a lot of starts they can take.
The thing is, a lot of times players will actually look up, they'll look up their opponent and see like what their standard route is, and either try and like mimic it or take advantage of it by doing something different. And 1 bomb each so far. So
that's enough to get them through the race game and to get some bombs from the shop in Kakariko. So that's going to be good for them.
Are we sure we're not just restreaming the same player's game feed twice?
Well,
there is a Mega Man, though.
2 different sprites, and I missed what was on the race game.
It was a small key, so they will both be going to get that.
And that can potentially be very interesting or not really good.
Yeah, it doesn't really do much for them yet. Especially, I mean, if it'd be better if it was like an Eastern Palace big key right now. That'd be a little bit more important.
Oh yes.
Of course, if it's like pod keys or something, that can kind of get you an idea of what the game's probably pushing you to do later on. But we'll see.
Well,
probably just going to be like a useless Skullwoods key or something.
Misery Mire, even worse.
T-Rock, alright.
Turtle Rock. Well, that's an interesting one.
It's a good one to have. If T-Rock ends up being required, you usually need... It's 4 total keys that you can find, but sometimes you can get away with only using 3.
Yeah, since you can steal the key from in front of the big key chest.
Mm-hmm. Take one off that pokey and then bail. Only boomerang on the library, so... Boots may or may not be required.
I doubt we'll be seeing them return for that one.
Probably not. But let's see. What else we got in Kakariko?
Well, this is the most item-dense location. And a little bit of love. Well, that's always nice to have at the start.
Yeah, it's always better when you can come here and like knock out as many different things as possible, like, early flute, early bottle, even like hammer, powder, stuff like that.
A weapon would be nice right now. Either hammer or sword.
Weapon would be great. Because then you can make that decision of, do I want to go into Hyrule Castle, or do I want to continue the normal route of like South Shore and all that stuff?
Oh yes. When you get a weapon really late, you often see people forget about Hyrule Castle. And another 100 rupees. Well. Looks like the stream might be directing them in Zora if they get some more money this way. Of course, they do need either flippers or Power Glove for that. And looks like we got the single arrow on the bottle vendor. Well. Let me just... Big key to the Tower of Hera. Well, that should serve them great when they get up to Death Mountain. Of course, required to get past the first 2 chests, or 3 if you also have the small key. And what else do we have here? Some more love. And small key. Another one to Turtle Rock. Well, for how much do we want to bet that they're either not going to find one of the rods or the cane or whatever else is going to control them here?
I believe that last key was a Turtle Rock small key, or a pod small key, sorry.
Pod key, yes.
Which That's another one where the game kind of requires you to have a ton of pod keys. 6 total to actually kill Helmusar King, but there's the bomb drop, so if players had just gone straight here, it would have had a little bit, more convenient of a time. And there's the boots already!
Boots! Oh! Early boots, that's amazing for them.
We've got movement, we've got speed. Now we just need some routing options. Hey, they can go get that boomerang now.
Alright, let's see if they do. I doubt they will, but maybe one of them will do it for chat.
Here's the thing. If they had taken the northern route through Kakariko and ended, going towards the maze race, they might have picked that up. Because, it's useful at this point because they don't have any weapons or stun items, or they don't have anything to, deal with enemies. They just have boots, so...
In that case, it would also be right on the way. And boomerangs are amazing for, Skull Woods, when you have those zombies, which can only be stunned by the boomerang, and otherwise take a lot of hits to kill.
Oh, and there's the Moon Pearl. Dragonstrike's gonna need to go back and get that. He's opting to go do Bonk Rocks instead. Unfortunately, we missed what was on the Bonk Rocks. So we'll have to see what he gets next time he pauses. Their rupees are still matched up, so we know it's not rupees.
Let's see if we see when he pauses. Well, it looks like he is going back to grab his Moon Pearl, so that's good for him. Interesting routing decision to not grab Lost Woods first and then go to Sanctuary to get Bonk Rocks, but instead go straight there from Kakariko. Can't say I've seen that one before. And now we have Ozzy going for Bonk Rocks as well, so maybe now we'll see what's in this chest here. And it was Glove! Whoa! That means we almost got Dark World access for both these runners. They either need one more glove upgrade or a hammer upgrade. And here we see both making the play at back of Escape, which is very smart play, close to Sanctuary, 3 items.
The question is, how long are these players going to be completely synced up? That's what I want to know. Oh, there's...
Oh my god! We have Dark World access!
7 minutes, 20 seconds in, and we already have Dark World access. What? So, at this point, how do you route this game? Do you go straight for the Dark World? Or do you keep doing, Light World stuff, the usual South Shore, Dam, Mini Moldering Cave?
They have a pretty hard decision for them. Some may even sequence break up to something like Death Mountain.
Ooh, Ozzy getting the King's Tomb out of the way, that's an easy one to forget about because, the myths open up so much stuff, and this is just one location. So if this ends up being something important, that could be good for Ozzy.
Perhaps Dragonstrike is trying to route that in with Graveyard Ledge later in Dark World.
Only 50 rupees, but, we're still looking for Zora money, so...
They're almost there. Just at 300 to 400 rupees right now. They, of course, also need to start saving up money for Dark Palace, which is quite easy to forget about.
Dragonstrike, first one to get a 4th heart, which, when you don't have weapons, you don't have magic, and you don't have really anything, you need health so you can take a few extra hits. Especially
when going the south side direction. Those grabs do a lot of damage.
Yes, 2 hearts each. It's a little scary. And but Ozzy going straight for the Dark World access.
Well, opting to skip Skull Woods. Can't blame him for that with no weapons.
Oh, and that Mini Molder and just dodging Dragonstrike's bomb attacks here.
They really live up to their name of being Troll Dorms. Oh, that's a biggie. To Thieves Town! So that's what Ozzy's missing. And 300 rupees, wow.
Well, here's the thing. Even if, missing that Thieves Town big key, he still doesn't have a weapon. Or no, he can use the Cane of Burna.
Yeah, Cane of Burna is amazing for blind.
But if you run out of magic, you're kind of screwed.
Oh, yeah. You don't want that.
You have no other options, so I don't know if it's worth that risk.
But right now, I see Dragonstrike with the Moon Pearl sitting at 600 rupees, so we might see a fake flipper of him going to Zora.
Oh, and that lamp does open up Death Mountain as well. But there's not that much you can do up in Death Mountain, so it's not really worth it yet. You need to find a hook shot or the mirror or something.
Yeah, but those could of course be up on Death Mountain as well.
Let's see what we're gonna find in Thief Sound. This seed is opened up so much, it's gonna be hard to keep track of
yes,
everything.
it's really hard to route.
There's another T-Rock small key, so we're already up to 3. Oh, no, he takes it.
Oh,
One of those,
luckily he wasn't far in the dungeon yet. And
Yeah.
in the Ice Rod Cave we see just a big 20, so he didn't miss much. But it looks like we will see the fake flippers here.
Oh, come on, OC. Running into everything. Oh,
This
bring
thing's
out
hurt.
that Kernaberna. Cainaberna, excuse me. Yeah, it's dashing is really scary when you don't have a sword.
Oh, yes.
But this works out because, you know, then you're just gonna death warp and get out of here. Ooh, we do have a bottle on Lake Hylia Island, so that is our first bottle we've seen, and a big key too,
Ooh.
Dark Palace. So
Dark Palace. This seed is really pointing them in that direction, it seems. And Ozzy taking another death, sadly.
I feel like we need at least like 2 more pod keys. The lamp does kind of send you in that direction, but we need a few more pod keys before you make that pod play.
I believe you need 4 to full clear if you have the bow and do the hammer jump.
Also helps if you have the mirror for routing, otherwise you got to keep death.
Oh,
warping,
yes.
which is a pain in the butt. Oh, and the powder.
Powder.
Somehow he missed that one. How do you miss the first chest? Come on. Ozzy, what are you doing?
I think he may have skipped it after his death. Just opting to go straight for the other ones.
Well, Dragonstrike is going to set up the water walk here in the Waterfall Cave. He does have enough rupees for Zora, so we'll probably be seeing that Zora check coming up pretty soon.
Oh yes, that can either be a big troll or hold something amazing for these runners. And he's just getting some more money and a bit of love in the Waterfall Cave.
I love the water walk when you have the boots because you can just dash through Zora's
yeah.
domain without a care in the world. It's very satisfying. And there's a big key on the ledge, so we might be needing that. Now,
Might be
there is
needing them
a
flippers.
really fancy way that you can store a water walk and then fake flipper so that when you hop down this ledge, you can actually you just keep walking. There's a way you can store a water walk so you can get that thing without the flippers, but
and I do believe that requires you to not pick up the Zora item.
Yeah, picking up the Zora item pops you back in the water for sure.
And
But he didn't set up the water walk anyway, or the stored water walk anyway. So.
Well, they may have to return for that big key, 'cause it could be important. Like, we only have a few big keys in play now. None of the unimportant ones like Swamp Palace or Skullwoods.
Ooh, and a fire rod.
Ooh, that's gonna be hot for Ozzy.
Gonna be looking for swords now if you want to go do that Skull Woods play. And a green pendant is gonna be at Eastern, so we do have a vanilla green pendant today.
But we won't have vanilla boots, so maybe we'll get to see what Shashrala has in store for us.
And another pod key. So that brings us up to 2. Hopefully ozipone decides to pop into the bomb hut, find out what our crystals 5 and 6 are for today.
Well, it does look we will get to a very early hype cave, if we can still call it that, of course. Knowing with how trolly it can be. A heart, the first heart for Ozzy, so that's good for him. And we have Ether. That could be required for either Misery Mire or Turtle Rock. Or not at all, of course.
Yeah, I think personally, as a player, these kind of seeds are frustrating when you have Dark World access, including the mitts. Like, if it was just like Hammer Glove Dark World access, that still doesn't open up. It opens up a lot, but it doesn't open up that much.
And now they just got the world free to them, pretty much.
Yeah, when you have tight mitts, it's like, all right, well, I can do a lot of things right now. But, of course, you know, we're still looking for things to get up to Death Mountain efficiently.
Oh, yeah.
We don't have the flute to go to, like, the mire area or anything like that, so...
Still looking for a lot of things, so... But where to find them? The seed is not giving them any clues on that. There's the cape. Opening
Yeah,
up Aga Tower.
Haven't seen the bumper cave yet, and there's the big key to Skull Woods, so
Well,
it's good for Dragon Strike.
that's one extra location he can check in there, so it's not really useful that often, but when it is, it can be really trolly.
So Dragon Strike has yet to make the play into the Dark World yet. They're still clearing up the Light World stuff first, which I agree with, for the most part.
I really can't blame him. With no weapon and that little heart's green mail, Dark World is rough here.
For sure.
And Ozzy finally making the play on South Shore. He's gonna be really happy when he finds that lamp and the money for Zora. And really not much going on right now while our runners are, well, still looking for stuff. Ozzy, of course, tracing over Dragonstrike's footsteps here. Picking up the big 20, preparing for a Zora pool.
Yeah, he's pretty close. He'll find some more rupees coming up. I mean,
yeah.
green rupees from the bush crab, which isn't too exciting.
He's gonna punch himself for spending time on those when he gets a 300 drop from Mini Moldham Cave.
He only lost a couple seconds there. That's not a big deal. And just a heart piece in the back of Eastern Palace. So
Eastern Palace was a bust.
Other than a big key to Skull Woods, which might come into play later, it might actually draw him into Skull Woods next, instead of going to the usual Village of Outcast route that ozipone did.
Yeah, we'll see what he chooses to do, because of course he has 6 hearts now, but no permanent weapon yet, so Skull Woods is a rough one.
Just go pick up that boomerang.
Well, that would actually be a decent play right now. Though it is a bit out of the way. Choices.
As a player, if you get this early Dark World access, it's so much better when you also get the mirror early. Because then you could just route in so much more at the same time.
And now you are limited to doing save and quit to getting back to the Light World. And of course, without that hammer, you are very limited in which Dark World portals you can take.
Oh yeah, for sure. So then every time they want to go to the Dark World, they have to go from Village of Outcasts and go all the way around.
Yeah, I believe it's only that one without Death Mountain access. Or am I forgetting a portal here?
Yep. Everything else, I think, requires at least a hammer. Or to, beat Aga Tower, or, finish Aga Tower, etc.
Yeah, Aga Tower, of course.
Misery Mire, first crystal that we are aware of. So we're gonna be needing that flute, that cane, and some assortment of medallions.
Of course, we have already seen Ether, so that's at least one medallion we have access to. Dragonstrike is opting to go into Turtle Rock Skull Woods here.
Maybe we'll find a sword in here. We had one in here yesterday during the race I commentated. Our first one was in here.
You're so happy when you find that.
Blue mail, that's pretty good too. Especially when you're still sitting on 6 hearts.
Oh, yes. He's gonna like that. Small key too.
Pod key.
Dark Palace. Well, I think we've found our direction in this seed. To pod. And to answer a question in chat, yes, Ozzy is doing the water walking glitch since we have not seen the flippers yet.
Oh, and he stored a water walk so that he'd run back after checking Hobo. I love that. It's a good one to do.
It's really smart. It saves a lot of time.
For sure. It's a long walk.
And I'm not sure if getting hit still insta-kills you. I believe it does in water walking.
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe it has the same functionality. And nothing going on in the Skullwoods big chest, so that big key, not going to make that big of a difference, but...
So Hype Cave was a bust after all.
Dragonstrike's got to be careful here. And he does have the blue mail, so he can take an extra hit from these guys, but still
now he's
fun.
Going to enter the most hellish room without a weapon and without a boomerang. Those 2 mummies, they hurt. Yeah,
the Gibdos are not friendly ever.
No, they follow you around and take a lot of hits to kill. Which he, of course, cannot do without a weapon.
Down to 1 heart!
Ooh, expertly dodged there.
Yeah, but here's the thing, he still has to deal with the next room, too. And sometimes that Gibdo in the next room likes to just hang out right by the door.
I think he can walk in with Cane of Burna a bit. He does have a tiny sliver of magic.
Oh,
and there's the sword! Oh! This is great for him. What a trolly location. I love it. As a commentator, of course. If I was playing this, I would curse this dungeon. We see Ozzy picking up some more bows before heading into the Eastern Palace area.
Oh my gosh, here's the thing though. With that sword in hand, when ozipone eventually makes his way over to Skull Woods, I wonder if he's going to go right in and kill Mothula.
Ooh.
You know, blue mail and a sword in Skull... Oh, and there's another sword, so which ozipone's going to be able to get, but depending on how he routes it, he might actually, like, finish Skull Woods and then get the Master Sword afterwards. So we'll see. We'll see how he decides to route it.
Yeah. Of course, Dragonstrike not quite yet having that cape.
Yeah, the cape was... Where was that?
Where was it again? Wasn't it somewhere in Village of Outcasts?
Oh, there was a Ganon's Tower small key in C-shaped house. I know Fire Rod was at Stumpy.
Yeah.
And...
So we may just see him turn right around when he gets to Stumpy.
Alright, but ozipone, yeah, basically, players just swapping places right now. Now, I wonder if Dragonstrike's actually going to go further into Thieves Town since he has the big key this time around. He's probably not wanting to without, you know, a real weapon.
Well, he does have a sword.
Oh, yeah, he does have a sword now.
And he has Cane of Brian, so that if he gets some magic in there, it should be pretty doable. Personally, I would probably make the play. Ozzy, of course, right now in Eastern Palace, not going to be happy about what he finds in here, because if I do recall correctly, it was a bust.
6 hearts. 6 hearts. Blue mail doesn't really do that much for you for the blind fight. I guess you can take a direct hit from blind without it doing 2 hearts of damage.
You can touch him a bit more, that would be all.
Slightly beneficial.
But of course, the blind fight being as scripted as it is, I believe the players of this level should have no problem with blind, even with just fight a sword.
Yeah, hopefully along the way he gets some few magic drops. So, you know, if things go wrong, you can always just get bailed out by the Cane of Burna.
Oh, yes. And of course, he does have that powder, and there are a few anti-fairies in here, so if he does run out of hearts, he has the safety option there, right there.
I guess now would be the best time to go do this, because you, A, don't have the small key to check the chest, and B, you don't even have the hammer to check the chest. So it's even more likely that, you know, there's probably not going to be anything in there unless the hammer's, like, sitting at Mothula or something silly.
Well, we have seen many a runner get trolled by the Thieves Town big chest.
Yeah.
You do not want to dip back in for that. It's a long walk.
It's not a good feeling. I mean, they do have the boots, so going back in and checking it later is not the end of the world, and it's still probably better than some of the other options, like you have to go back into Ice Palace or something to check the big chest.
Right.
Or go back through T-Rock to check Mimic Cave or something, but still definitely not ideal. And
not something you want to do.
We actually had a seed yesterday that it was they had to go back into Thieves Town to check that chest because it was vanilla Titan myths. So
oh god,
it was amazing.
That does feel bad if you're running it. I bet chat would love that.
Oh, it was good. We do get a Turtle Rock map, so we will be able to find out whether Turtle Rock is a crystal or a pendant as soon as Dragonstrike leaves this dungeon.
And we have Ozzy making the play on Escape right now. Well, at least the uncle part of Escape.
We haven't seen this yet, I don't think, so...
Gonna be some new information. The compass.
Yo, shouts to that anti-fairy right there. That has saved me many a runs.
Oh yes.
Ooh, big key to T-Rock. All right.
Turtle Rock.
We got 3 small keys and the big key for Turtle Rock already, but
that is
only
enough,
the fire rod.
enough to clear it key-wise. Of course, they are missing a lot of items. Potentially a medallion, Sumaria.
Dragon Strike with the very, very fortunate full magic drop from one of the enemies, so we'll have full magic going into this fight to use Cane of Burna.
Oh, he should have this.
Only 50 rubies, so hopefully Blind's holding on to something, and it's something, well, apparently Thief's Town is a pendant, so Blind better be holding on to something, otherwise this might be a bust.
I do love how Blind also gets recolored when players change their sprites. Of course, Dragon Strike rocking the Mega Man sprite with a recolored Blind with a nice blue and red dress.
It's very fancy. Bringing the cane right out. Ain't taking no chances.
I can't say I blame him. And Ozzy right now into escape. Doing some fire rod strats and potentially switching to bombs when he runs out of magic. Yeah, he's switching to bombs right now.
Dragon Strike doesn't even need that Cane of Burna. He's got this fight down. Very nice.
Beautiful Blind. Beautiful Blind fight by Dragon.
Oh, and the flippers!
And the flippers!
So that was worth it. Blind coming through in the end with the clutch. Now Dragon
with a red pendant.
Be able to go get that big key that is in the Zora's domain.
Yes.
Which could very well be our GT big key.
Oh yes.
I don't know.
Or any of the other required big keys. But I don't think we'll be seeing him return there immediately. He may wait for the mirror so he can route Catfish in as well.
Always a possibility until Catfish has the mirror. That's which happens far too often.
Catfish is a big troll. So right now, Dragon Strike doing south of Hyrule. Going to be happy when he finds that fire rod on Stumpy. And Ozzy taking a Death Warp.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't take a few more hits from the ball and chain guy since it's a full heart of damage each. He was at like half health. That would have made that a little bit faster since he was going to insta-kill him with the fire rod. But yeah, just think, you know, had ozipone gone up to Skullwoods first, he would have had a sword this whole time. But would have been able to save it a little bit of time going through Hyrule Castle.
Well, I can't blame him for the choice he made. Low resource Skullwoods is never fun. And he is going to check the Dark Sewer chest.
Yeah, sometimes routing works, sometimes it doesn't. I mean, he got a lot of good stuff, so... And now that he has the cape and the fire rod, he'll be able to do Skullwoods all in one go once he makes his way over there.
Of course, with the cape in hand, he may also just take a dip in Aga Tower here soon, since he's already in the area.
Yeah, you might. But you kind of want to wait and do that when you have 2 keys, so you can check out both. And there's the Cane of Samaria right off the bat. So Hyrule Castle coming in clutch as well.
And we're slowly being pointed towards Turtle Rock more and more. Now they just need to be able to get there. And an ice rod. And a hammer.
Yeah, we need some stuff. Oh man, alright, so we got Crystal Swamp, Crystal Pod, and Crystal T-Rock, and I believe Pod might have been one of our Pyramid Fairy Crystals, but we're going to find out the exact details right now.
Dragon Strike is going to tell us really soon.
Pod and Desert.
Palace and Desert Palace. So that does mean we're also going to either find the mirror or the book in order to gain entrance to Desert.
True. Probably the mirror, since we need that for Swamp as well.
Yeah. Or more fun, the book might lock mirror in Desert.
Yeah, those are always good. It's like,
always a fun thing to find
or
there.
Book locks, like the flute or something in Desert.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Dragon Strike making the route up to... Probably going to go check Pyramid at this point. And then might go do Catfish next.
Maybe Catfish, yes.
But yeah, we got a Death Mountain play from Ozzy. Decided not to go take the Skullwoods route yet. You can only check a few chests along the way, but who knows? Maybe there'll be something up here.
Yeah. He gets a nice little gift from the old man, of course. And just a big 20 in a pyramid. Nothing fancy. And we do have Dragon going up to Catfish. As the old man is showing his love for Ozzy.
You know, 30 minutes in, get Catfish out of the way. Yeah, it's a little bit of time loss if it's nothing, and if you don't have, not having the mirror, but... Oh, and there's the flute on Spinning Rock.
Flute is locked by mirror. This just got a bit spicier.
A little bit, so... That means that... Alright. Where's that mirror gonna be then? Probably in pod or something.
The last location they check, of course.
Ooh, small key from Catfish. Where's that gonna go to? Ah, Skullwoods.
Skullwoods.
So Catfish not being at all valuable yet. Or at all.
Ooh. Of course, you don't need any of the chest Skullwood keys to be able to complete it. You can just pick up pod keys and Gypto keys.
Having a Skullwood small key before you go into Skullwoods is nice, though. Just because that means you can skip going through that one forced small key room.
Yeah, that is true. That's amazing. You can just walk right in through the front door and go left instead of having to fall down.
Ozzy, go to Bumper Cave first. It'll be funny, I promise. Please.
Well, he's also going to get his sword right here.
I know, but I want him to have a Master Sword for Mothula.
That is true. Mothula is never fun with Fighter Sword.
Absolutely not.
Or Master Sword for that matter.
Right, yeah. They gotta go get the B-Torp that's on Lake Hylia. It's the only way to fight Mothula.
You gotta fight insects with insects.
Alright, Dragonstrike picking up that Turtle Rock Big Key. ozipone getting the blue mail in Skullwoods, so probably feeling really good about that.
Oh yes, that should make him happy. He's gonna be really ecstatic when he finds that sword. Especially since he has an easier time in that Gypto room with the Cane of Samaria.
Yeah. Be able to make up a little bit of time. Dragonstrike's gonna have a little bit of quicker time going through Hyrule Castle though, because he does have the sword, so.
Yeah, but we still have to wonder if he's going to make that play in Dark Sewers.
Oh, I'm sure. Can't imagine why he wouldn't. He has the lamp.
Oh yeah, of course. But that tends to be skipped. Yeah, he should be doing it.
Alright, ozipone making his way over. He's going to be getting his sword pretty soon, and then we'll see if he decides to go take on Mothula. It's, he's not really that well geared up for this fight, but you never know.
It's just too bad that Mothula is one of the earliest accessible Dark World bosses, while also being the hardest to do with low gear.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes the game does kind of force you to do these kind of situations, like, we've had situations of, like, Vitreous holding the bow or something, so you have to do, like, Master Sword or Fighter Sword strats.
Oh, no.
It's happened, And the thing is, like, you have a dungeon you can complete right now, by the logic, as opposed to, like, going to pod, which you can't complete. Like, how do you decide?
Yeah, it's best to just get it out of the way.
And it doesn't look like Dragonstrike's gonna go for that Death Warp here.
No, oh, he's going to regret that when he dips into the Dark Maze there.
Yeah, fortunately, not getting the Cane of Samaria yet isn't going to hurt him too much, since they don't have access to the dungeons yet, but...
Oh, but it is a nice time save sometimes.
Mm-hmm. He might opt to go do that when and if he goes back to do Agate Tower. The only problem is if he never goes back.
Oh yeah, but he also needs Hyrule Castle key then, which I don't think they have yet. At least normally people go from the back then from the back of Escape.
I believe that's where the mitts were, so he's already done the back of Escape.
Yeah, of course, but if you have a key you can just get through the Dark Sewer chest there quite easily. I believe it's faster than going through the front.
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't timed it. Ooh, there's a
And
nice 8 bomb drop. I'd grab that.
And
When
we
you're down
do
to
have a
4.
Mothula in here. I have to say, I missed what was in the other chest in the back here.
I think it was just a heart container.
Alright. Ozzy is opting to do lamp strats here in order to preserve magic. Very smart. Since that fire rod does do Master Sword damage to Mothula.
Oh man, Dragon Strike gonna be following suit. Gonna be right behind him. So let's see who's got the better Mothula fight. It's so unfortunate with that Master Sword just sitting over at Bumper Cave.
Oh yeah.
Because that would make this fight just a little bit easier.
Of course, Dragon Strike not having his cape yet.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't be able to grab that either way.
Alright, let's see how this goes. Good luck, players.
They'll need it.
Make us proud.
Of course, attempting to persuade Mothula out of the back with that fire rod, but going straight back up.
Yeah, this is even like... this is like low percent right here. Fighter sword and fire rod, that's it. Like no hammer.
No half magic,
upgrade,
no safeties.
No bottles. You were literally working with the most minimal situation possible.
And I don't think he has any fire rod shots left, so it's all fighter sword.
One more.
He had one more.
One more. Oh, and he takes him down.
Oh, very nice. Well done, Ozzy. Let's see if
Dragon Strike.
And just a big 20 for all that trouble.
But more importantly, that is a crystal, so that's good. That was one of the other dungeons we didn't know about, so...
Oh, yes. We do know a lot of crystals right now.
The last pendant's either going to be Ice Palace or Tower of Hera. So once we find one of those maps, or finish one of those dungeons...
Of course, with Flute sitting on the Spectacle Rock, when they find Mirror, they may just opt for Hera, since they do have the big key. I would, at least.
Come on, Dragon Strike, you got this. Still has a few more fire shots in. I'm loving the patience from these players for this fight.
Oh, yes.
You don't want to go too hard. Yeah.
When you lose the patience here, you lose immediately. Mob is ruthless.
I need to see more fire rod shots. Unless, okay, he's opting to save it for Burna. Oh,
nice. Very nice.
Good work.
Both
and now, there's your sword, Ozzy. Enjoy.
And both fire rod is taking Mothula down in one go.
Yeah, that's very good. You just can't afford to die at all in these tournament races. If you might be able to get away with like one boss death. And, you know, Mothula, dying to Mothula is, like, probably the least... Well, except for the whole magic situation. Like, getting back to Mothula ain't too bad.
Oh, yes. As long as you have magic, yeah. Or a pot to refill it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, ozipone getting his Master Sword, so now... All that does, really, is just give him more firepower. He already had the cape, so he doesn't... Yeah, it's just for firepower. And if he ever finds a book, you know, that opens up the tablets...
Yeah, but... And it, of course, brings Ganon into the logic, since Master Sword is required to damage him. So he can finish sword-wise.
Well, if we're talking about the logic, Ganon requires Silvers and the Tempered Sword to defeat.
Oh, that's true.
But, yeah, this is the minimum requirement to defeat him by our players', you know, standards and abilities.
That is correct, yes.
Master Sword Silverless Ganon is... awful.
No fun. Oh, man.
I don't want to see that. So let's get a Master Sword Silver Ganon. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, but they already have Blue Mill, so it's at least not Master Sword Silverless Green Mill Ganon, which is just the worst. And here we have Ozzy checking the lunchbox. Let's see if that pays off for him. And just some love for returning Gary's lunchbox.
Dragon Strike making the play up to Death Mountain. Not going to find anything up there other than a little bit of information. And ozipone heading to the desert area, gonna get some more information on the desert ledge, only a heart piece, and gonna go head over to Agnes Cave, see what he's got over there. At this point, though, what's the play? It's either, let's see, we got one chest we can get in Aga Tower or Pod. I think those are like the main two plays, or that big key at Zora's Ledge that.
And we do have Ice Palace opened up. We got Titan's Mitts and the Fire Rod.
Ooh, gross. That sounds awful.
Oh, yeah. You don't want to go in there with
Ooh,
hook shot!
Oh, that's so mean.
Well, looks like Ozzy's going right back up to Death Mountain.
Alright, maybe we'll find a hammer up here.
Oh, yes.
Anything required at Agnes Cave is the worst, because players always
so
put
far
off
out
Agnes.
way.
Yeah.
In an ideal situation, you just go there when you have the flute. But of course, it may be locked by flute right now. Or, sorry, it may lock the flute.
You know, this seed might have not been a bad one to go check Agnes Cave early, since we did have early boots. Dash over, grab that one, you know, maybe even pick up some rupees from that one cave on the way to desert.
Early boots is always great to have.
But it's pretty much just like Catfish. It's like, how and when do you route this in? Or do you just never route it in?
I think we may have Dragonstrike doing the same check right now, so he'll be right on Ozzy's heels.
Looks like it, yeah.
Of course, going there without the lunchbox right now, so that's going to be on the back of his mind.
Tempered sword.
Tempered.
Would have been nice to have that for the Mothula fight.
Oh yes.
Red boom and a green rupee. So just a little bit of firepower up in this.
That's always great to have. That really makes all your checks just that much faster.
So unless Spiral Cave's holding like the hammer, you know, this doesn't really open up anything yet. So, but we do know that ozipone has to go into Thieves Town and defeat Blind to get the flippers from that boss.
Oh yes.
And we still want to find out what that big key is over on Zora's Ledge. Just a map on the floating island. Won't be getting that. And no hammer to go to Tower of Hera, so just going to be hitting that Spiral Cave. So,
and let's see if that brings us any more luck. Or if they're going to have to route in anything else.
Yeah, this kind of is leaning towards... I would go to Pod before I go to Ice Palace, especially with that Pod big key.
Oh, yeah. Oh yes, definitely. Also with three small keys, you can just check that much there. Of course, without the bow... Oh!
So...
Speaking of the bow...
Death Mountain having all the firepower today.
And Dark Death Mountain is, of course, still open.
Oh yeah,
I forgot about that.
That's quite a bit of stuff. And the thing is, if they find the mirror in here, they can mirror over to the west side of Death Mountain to get up to Hera, as well as get that flute. So I'm almost kind of expecting it at this point.
And of course, with that hookshot, they can check all the chests in Hookshot Cave as well. Let's see what Super Bunny Cave has in store for us today.
Small key 2, Ganon's Tower. Small key 2, Ganon's Tower.
Well, Ganon's just leaving his keys all over his mountain there.
It seems kind of fitting that it would be really close to where, you know, right next to the tower.
Yeah, of course.
He probably hired someone
to
go hide them, and they didn't really do a good job of it. I think
Turtle Rock is Quake.
Quake medallion, so
we don't know that
that is a crystal. Wait, do we? Yeah, we do.
Yeah, it's a crystal. They checked.
We're still thinking about Ice Palace. Oh,
hammer! There it is!
Oh, beautiful. Alright, well, here's the question. If they don't find the mirror, do you go back up to Death Mountain and go all the way around to Tower of Hera?
That's a lot of time, but it may be worth it. Well, we'll see what he does.
I think ozipone was thinking about whether he wanted to do Spike Cave or not. But
well, that is doable right now.
It looks like he's going up.
He's going to Hera.
Yep. I like this play. This is very similar to a play I had.
I like it as well. With items like this, you're almost guaranteed that the mirror will be in Hera.
And it's still one of those situations of, well, yeah, where it's like, all right, I could actually go up here and complete this dungeon. I can't get the item in the basement, but I can get the crystal at least.
Oh yes, that's important. If it's a crystal, of course. It may just be
our
lost.
That's true. But at the same time, if it ends up being a pendant, at least that's more information about what else we have left to do.
Then I believe he does know everything about our crystal situation. And here we have Dragonstrike also just clearing out Death Mountain. Gonna find his hammer real soon. Let's see if he makes the same play that Ozzy is making right now. These runners have been right on each other's heels this entire time. And we have the map to Desert Palace, which we already know is a red crystal, of course. And let's see what Hera brings us more. A Smoky.
To desert.
To desert. Looks like they really want that mirror or book right now.
It's really good to get that out of the way, so that when they eventually get the big key and go back to desert, if they get the big key and go back to desert.
Yeah, the mirror would of course be preferred, since that also leads to the flute right now. Which our runners do love to have, since that cuts down on some of the saving and quitting.
And it looks like Dragonstrike is making the play up to Hera as well, so he won't be too far behind. These players following in each other's footsteps. Can make for a
all
very
making the same place, and they look to be the correct ones. And a compass to Desert Palace.
Now we just need to get the big key and some way to actually get inside of it. Yeah, I was kind of hoping we'd find the mirror here, but who knows? Maybe Moldy has something for us.
Oh, yes. Let's see how trolly he feels today. Sometimes he goes down without a fight, and sometimes he just knocks you off 15 times. And Ozzy making short work of him. Well done. And there's Bombos.
Not exactly the medallion you were looking for, but when they eventually make that Ice Palace play. And it is a crystal, which actually makes Ice Palace our last pendant for today. For this race, at least, so
then you know something good's gonna be in there.
Yeah, that's the question, though, is like, now that you know it's a pendant, how do you play it? Do you go sooner or later? Oh, and they also had the map for it, so...
My games, I do tend to find blue things in Ice Palace. Like the blue pendant here right now. So the mirror may just be in there.
Very well.
And the ice rod.
And, you gotta think, you got the hammer, so all of a sudden those hammer locations in there are kind of...
Oh, yes. Of course, Ozzy still has not completed Thieves Town, so he does not have that flippers quite yet.
That is true.
But we are getting a spy cave check here. And just a piece of heart. Nothing special in there. So I wonder where he's going right now. He may just return to Thieves Town to complete it, but it doesn't look like it. He may just be trying to fake flipper his way into Ice Palace. Oh yeah, he's fake flippering. He's making the Ice Palace play. I'm a fan of this. Curious to see what it will bring him.
kind of a scary play to make.
Oh yes. Well, he does have Blue Mail and 12 hearts right now, so...
This is pretty interesting. Like, he knows that the flip... He should know that the flipper... No, he does know. He knows that the flippers are required for Swamp Palace, but he's going to go ahead and opt to do this. He doesn't have the big keys, so if he does go ahead and kill Cold Stare, he knows that's not going to be in sequence, but he's already out of sequence since he doesn't have the flippers for this dungeon, so this might be big.
He's going to get that first chest real soon. Of course, Ice Palace being one of the longer dungeons to navigate through.
Yeah, especially when you have to deal with all this stupid ice physics.
Oh god. Those ice physics are just terrible.
Yeah, the only problem is, like, we know that the flippers are at a different Pendant dungeon, and
Right.
I know personally as a player, you know, you go through one Pendant dungeon, you find nothing, you're like, well, or you find something, you're like, well, maybe the other Pendant dungeon has or doesn't have something. The last thing you want to do after finishing one Pendant dungeon is immediately go do another one.
Oh god. Yeah, you don't want to do that. But well, sometimes logic just wants you to.
But it looks like we're going to be getting a pod play from Dragonstrike. He does have the big key, 3 small keys. Let's see if he knows the hammer jump to save the key.
And maybe there are some vanilla keys in there. I've seen that happen quite a lot in this tournament so far.
Yeah, when there's 6 keys total for a single dungeon, like pod, there's always a good chance that maybe one of them is going to be vanilla.
Yeah, of course, without the bow, he's going to have to use that first key to go through the center door. Unless bow is, of course, on the left side. But the odds are quite low for that.
Could be interesting.
And we are going to see the interesting part of Ice Palace right now from ozipone.
The hammerlock stuff, yeah.
Yeah, it's 3 chests right here, right on top of each other. I always feel good when I get here. And Dragonstrike parting with his hard-earned money.
Oof. Nobody wants to see a compass at this point.
Ooh. I don't want to see a compass at any point during Keysanity races. Or any randomizer. Ooh! Eastern Palace.
Oh, that's a pendant. That's also a pendant.
But it is the green pendant, so maybe we'll see it.
Oh man, maybe this is a pedestal seed. I mean,
ooh,
we still need the Ice Palace big key and the bow before this, you know, before the pedestal becomes in logic. So
is the Ice Palace big key actually required by logic?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it doesn't require, you know, it doesn't take into consideration the bomb jump. And
that is true. But he does have Sumaria.
Yeah, the only difference is with Sumario, it just requires 1 less key.
Oh, okay.
One less small key, but it still definitely requires the big key. And there's a small key to Swamp.
Swamp Palace.
So maybe we'll find a mirror in Palace of Darkness coming up. ozipone setting him a nice little bomb jump here. Let's see if he gets it, and he does. That's nice. I love the new use of the spin.
Oh, yeah.
Right next to the edge to keep yourself from falling. There is that vanilla pod.
There it is. Yes.
It's almost like it's part of the logic. It's part of the fill logic. And there's Quake.
Quake. Right. We got all our medallions.
So we're good to go. And there's the last Turtle Rock small key. So
they can full clear it when they get there.
Well, this is interesting. When do you go to T-Rock now?
Well, Dragonstrike still does not have Sumaria.
Oh, that's true.
So
that was in the sewer chest.
Yeah.
But once he finds that, when do you go? Do you keep putting it off until you find the ice rod? Because you know there's got to be something there.
Oh yeah, there's always something in T-Rock.
All right, let's see this hammer jump.
It's of course being one of the hardest bomb jumps in the game. Let's see if he gets it.
It's just 2 pixel perfect setups, no big deal.
He should be able to do that with his eyes closed.
One more pixel. Moving 1 pixel is so hard, though.
And,
down,
that's too bad.
Down 1 pixel. A lot of times players will opt to move diagonally or do sword buffers to move that single pixel, but it looks like he's just going to go ahead and
He's gonna use the key.
use that small key.
I thought he may also attempt to do the bomb jump from the top, since you do have a few extra seconds then. But using that small key, it is in the logic, so...
And
if
a
you
very
feel like...
clean Cold Stare fight from Ozzy.
Very nice. And just getting 10 arrows.
So did we get anything this dungeon?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I don't see anything of note on Ozzy's tracker.
That may or may not have been a bust. Unless he's going ped. Well, at this point, Ozipone's going to be hoping and begging and praying that it's a pedestal seed.
Oh yeah. Well, both our runners do have one pendant now. Ozzy, of course, going to have to get a second pendant by clearing our thieves down. In order to get his flippers.
We did get the Eastern Palace big key in Ice Palace, so we'll have to find out if that's required or leads to anything else. But Dragonstrike making the same play, so you know Ozipone's not going to lose any time at this point with his play. I go check that Batcave coming up, and hopefully we really need him to go head into Thieves Town at this point.
Yeah, in order to get his flippers, so he can go to Swamp when he gets his mirror. This seed is really starving them from items. They do get all the keys they want, but items? No.
Green rupee.
And just a single rupee. And I wonder where Ozzy's routing right now. It looks like he's going to the Dark World. Maybe he's going to finish that Thieves Town right now. Going south. Come on, Ozzy, where are you headed? Ah, right. He hadn't checked the Hammer Pack cave yet.
Oh.
And there's the bow!
Oh man! All right, well that's huge for Ozzy.
That does bring Eastern Palace into the logic right now.
Yeah.
So that's the question. Do you do Pendant Eastern now, or do you go somewhere else? And it looks like he's going to Thieves Town as well. He may be setting up for a blind pet pool. Since he already finished Ice Palace Pendant, he's going to finish Thieves Town now, and he has the means to finish Eastern. Although he may just go into, he may just route in pod with Eastern Palace right now and find Quake.
I guess the worst thing for Ozzy is if he does go for the full pendant clearing, you know, so many times it's like, oh man, I have the ability to clear all the pendant dungeons, and then you go pull the ped and you get a piece of heart, and you're like, but the game told me to go do it. Come on. It's not fair.
Just a piece of heart or a shield or something.
Yeah, with the full clear of Thieves Town, like he's got nothing else left to do except go pod Eastern, so we'll see if he decides to clear Eastern Palace before popping into pod.
Since without Mirror he can't enter Swamp Palace or Misery Mire, since Mirror locks Flute.
Yeah, and if
and he needs pod to be able to enter Turtle Rock.
And if nothing comes from those, you know, yeah, he can make the T-Rock play next. But let's talk about this. What could be on that pedestal right now? The mirror?
Mirror could be there. Ice Rod, of course.
Mirror and Ice Rod. And of course, you know, a slew of potential required big keys or something.
Including the GT one.
GT big key, Desert big key, Meyer big key.
It could also contain a fetch quest leading to one of those items. We still haven't seen our shovel or our mushroom.
I still want to see that Zora ledge big key.
Wasn't that the Skullwoods one?
Nope. Skullwoods one was in Eastern Palace.
Oh, right. That was a different big key.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's been to... I know Dragonstrike... I don't remember... Has Dragonstrike been to the Zora's Domain yet?
No, I don't think so.
And I know Ozzy did the water walk, but
yeah,
didn't get the Zora's Ledge item.
Yeah. He prioritized that hard, of course, being it that early. And Ozzy now starting his blind find. Should have no trouble with this Blue Mill Tempered Sword, which of course has a little bit more range than the Fighter Sword. And that's the only way that it makes this fight a bit easier. As Chad is pointing out, our runners still have no bottle. We do know one is on Lake Hylia Island, but that's all we know.
Yeah.
And that can't be reached yet since they don't have the mirror.
Where the heck was that cape? That's what I want to know. Was that at Hobo or something, or...?
I honestly don't remember.
I'm kind of curious where Dragonstrike missed it. Because he's still on Master Sword, because he can't get the one that's on Bumper Cave.
Ah, the blacksmithing dwarf.
Ah, okay.
Right.
Yeah, the save and quit to turn in the blacksmith is is never fun.
But of course, it is in the logic, so they both can have the mirror.
Dragonstrike, gotta be careful here. With only Master Sword, this fight's a little bit harder. He does have the Bombos medallion to make it a little bit easier, but he needs to switch over to Fire Rod. It
looks like he has this fight down.
Alright, we're gonna see that big key in Zora's Domain from ozipone coming up, so... What do you guys think? You think it's gonna be the GT one? You guys think it's gonna be Desert? Swamp? Ice? If it's Ice, it's gonna be funny. It's gonna be real fun.
Especially if he has to dip back right there for a required item.
Yo, nice cold stare fight from Dragonstrike, given his gear.
Oh,
Might have been helpful to switch out and use the Fire Rod, because like, let's say you knock him into the corner, and right before he starts to get away, you can sometimes use a Fire Rod shot that like hits all three, or at least two of them.
Of course, using that splash damage.
Mm-hmm.
And each of the puffs dying after just 4 Fire Rod hits.
Yeah, it's not always consistent, but...
And let's see what we got here. Ice Palace! Oh, that is amazing.
Oh, well that's good though. That puts Pedestal into play even more so, because now they have everything they need to actually have completed that, but it's frustrating because if that big chest has something, nobody's going back to Ice Palace.
Oh, I don't blame them. Nobody wants to do that.
And that's what you get, Ozzy, for sequence breaking. And Dragonstrike for just not going to Zora's Domain at all.
Let's see where Ozzy's going. I think he's going to do Pod right now. Which is a solid play.
Yeah, it's looking like it.
Since that gives him his Quake medallion, putting Turtle Rock into the logic.
Oh, Catfish. Pyramid to Catfish, probably.
Oh, right.
Maybe.
And it looks
we only got a Skullwoods small key from Catfish, so...
It looks like Dragon's going to get escape right now, so he can get the Tempered Sword. Of course, taking a small detour with the save and quit.
Let's see what ozipone does. If he goes up or if he goes to Pod. Looking like a Pod play. Alright. Some good stuff in there, including the Quake Medallion, and, you know, he's going to be able to... Let's see if he does the hammer jump to save a key as well. That is a good question, though. Where was that one Pod key that ozipone missed, that Dragonstrike got?
In Pod.
No, there was another one.
Oh, there was another one?
I think. I thought. Maybe not.
But Ozzy does enter with the bow, so he can skip the center door and check some additional chests.
True.
And there's Dragon getting his bow. Yeah, if Ozzy keeps the center door shut and does the hammer jump, he can't full clear this.
Yeah, it's still frustrating when you don't have a mirror to get around, so
Oh, yes.
you gotta take some extra death warps or walk walk all the way back.
Yeah, that's a pain to navigate. But, well, who knows? Maybe the mirror is bow locked in here.
Alright, let's see this bow side coming up.
And Dragonstrike getting his singular rupee from the bat.
So as of right now, we need Ice Rod, we need the mirror to get the flute, as well to go to Mire. We need the Mire big key, Desert Palace big key, and the GT big key. I believe that's everything that we need. Maybe some small keys here and there. Well, the Swamp Palace small key, but we did find that
that was in Pod, yeah, and the Dark Maze, I believe. No, not the Dark Maze, the rupee game. It was right there.
Yeah, nothing of value, really, though, in the bow section of Pod, so a little disappointing, I'm sure, for Ozzy.
Well, he's going to be glad when he finds his Swamp Palace small key and Quake medallion.
So he's got to be thinking, oh man, I only have 3 keys, so I got to use this wisely, but he doesn't know that there's an extra small key in the back.
Well, he's going to learn about that soon enough. I at least hope for him. I do like the way he's deciding to route this dungeon without a mirror. And here we have Dragon getting his Tempered Sword right now. So that's gonna put our runners both up to the same strength.
Yeah, this dungeon can be really annoying without the mirror, because you have to keep going through this bow section over and over again.
Yeah.
Well, when you don't have the mirror and you don't have spare keys.
But everything to save a key in Pod.
Oh, for sure.
Those things can be elusive. And let's see if you're getting a hammer jump right here. At least not right now. Maybe on the way back. Dragon doing his lunchbox right now. Nothing of value, of course. And it looks like we'll be getting a hammer jump right here. Let's see if Ozzy gets it first try. Nope. But he's going right back to try again. Oh, just misses it.
Oh, we are going to see the Eastern Palace play from Dragonstrike, so we're going to find out what is in that big chest at Armos, as well as what Sahasrara is holding.
And after that, we may find out what's on pet, since he will have all 3 pendants right then.
Yeah, the game is it's really looking like it's going to be a ped play. And ozipone having a little bit of trouble here. He thankfully has a lot of health still and plenty of bombs.
Yeah,
he might...
That trick is hard to learn and hard to master.
The other thing, he's gonna have to death warp out of here to get out of there without using that small key as well. So, you know, losing a few health here ain't too bad.
Of course, he's of course doing this on purpose to make the death warp easier.
RNG manipulation. That's the joke, right? That's what everyone always says. Looks like he got it. Oh, he had it.
Oh,
I think he had it. Maybe one needs a move up one. There we go. That's it.
You can come on. You can do it. Yes, beautiful. There's the shovel.
Gross.
And a compass in to Turtle Rock in the Eastern Palace big chest. So nothing of value there.
Yeah, that hammer jump. It ain't too easy.
Ooh.
It takes a lot of practice, and especially if you try and do it fast.
Yeah,
you could do it in 30 pause buffers, and it'd still be faster than doing it the other way.
Yeah, you gotta spend hours on practice before you get it down, probably.
Nah, maybe 1 hour.
Just walk right in and do it. It's easy, right?
Just do it, guys. Come on, it's super easy. It's really it's the 1 pixel movement that's the hardest part, and
yeah.
The real challenge is when you can finally stop pause buffering and just use like sword buffering to do it.
Oh yeah.
I'm not there yet. Yeah, it's gonna take a little bit of time.
I've seen people do it without buffering, which frankly just blows my mind. And Armos has a vanilla heart. So lots of vanilla drops from that boss. Heart, green pendant.
All right, let's get that. Well, Dragonstrike he's probably going to go back and finish pot at this point. He did save a small key.
Oh, yes. And as Chad is pointing out, he still doesn't have his Somaria. So if he doesn't go to Dark Sewers soon, he... Oh, and there's the mirror! Oh!
Alright, so pedestal doesn't even matter anymore now at this point. We got the mirror. Oh, and baby.
And there's his assassination attempt on Sahasrara for hiding that item from him.
Well, here's the thing, though. That mirror is huge. It opens up a bunch of overworld locations.
Oh, yes. This is probably leading him away from Somaria. Yeah.
The other thing is, it's like, he's going to go straight to Swamp is what it looks like. But that mirror also takes you right to the Flute, which gets you to the Mire area, which also gets you into Desert. They don't have the Desert Big Key yet, but...
I'm surprised he didn't go straight for his Flute. I would immediately just go up that mountain.
Yeah, sometimes players, sometimes it's better to choose routes where, you're going to get a lot of items. You can full clear it. What? It's a crystal.
Oh, he's checking cave 45 first.
And besides, like, the Mire area isn't looking too ideal for him because he still doesn't have Cane, nor does he have the big key for Mire.
Oh, indeed.
He doesn't have the big key for Desert either. Let's see this helmet fight.
And let's see if he drops anything useful as well.
Who's he going for? The hammer poke, the spin, and the silver arrow. So many different ways to take him out.
Of course, the silver arrow take him out in a single hit.
And a
Smokey. Hyrule Castle.
Garbage. Just leave it on the ground. But that's the thing. If Dragonstrike had gone back in to finish pod, he would have gotten that Hyrule Castle small key, and maybe that would have reminded him to go back and check the sewer chest.
Oh, man. Well, maybe when he finishes pod, he will be reminded. So let's hope that for him.
Here's the other nice thing. Well, never mind. He does have the option now, with that mirror. Man, I don't know. I'm trying to think of what might send him back that way. I was like, oh, Pyramid Fairy. Oh, wait, we don't have the Desert Palace Big Key. And
But
he's
that
not.
could, of course, still be in desert.
Oh. Okay. I was like... See, this is unfortunate for ozipone, because if he had done Eastern first...
And there's the desert big key!
Oh, wow. Just like
First
that.
chest swamp! Well, that looks like we're nearing go mode. Just 2 more keys and an ice rod, I believe. Or no mode, at least.
Here's the thing, ozipone going up to Catfish next, and then we'll probably save and quit out and do something else. I don't really agree that much with walking all the way back through the pod maze to go up to Catfish. Hopefully he does Eastern Palace after this to go get that mirror.
Very much pendants required here. You have to kill blind for flippers, kill Armos to get the green pendant, to get mirror, both of which are required.
Eastern Palace Big Key was in Pendant Ice Palace.
So all pendant dungeons are required.
So it's an all dungeon seed, no big deal.
Gross.
It's Keysanity, it's pretty normal.
At this point we don't have any troll seats, just normal seats and good seats.
Basically. Alright, Ozzy. Gotta go head to Eastern. No! He's gonna go check that shovel.
Smart play.
Oh, and there's Red Mail. It's a nice find.
Yeah. He's going full safety, except he still has no bottles.
It happens. Oh, there's a bottle. There it is. Another bottle.
Who buried a B-Torp there?
Yeah, that's so mean. Who would do such a thing?
1 hour and 17 minutes in, we may just get our first ticket check.
Looks like it.
I can't say I've ever seen it this late. Ah, and he's opting to leave the Bloomerang in library.
Yeah, Dragonstrike has, he's at a pretty good place right now, until ozipone gets that mirror. But for ozipone, because he has that cane, he might be able to route it so that Swamp Palace, he might be able to go mode it.
Oh, yes.
Unless there's something else required hidden in here. Because that Desert Palace Big Key was in that first chest, there's a good chance that everything else in here could be junk.
So both of our runners are 1 item behind on each other, and they're both pretty trolly. So let's see who makes the play on the missing item first. So that's probably that's probably going to be our winner in this race. It's pretty much tied at this point.
I guess ozipone is banking on a Ice Rod in T-Rock situation. Oh, there's a big key, a vanilla big key.
Well then!
That's convenient. Probably not what he's looking for, but at least he's going to be able to full clear this dungeon. So if there's something big in that big chest, that's obviously going to be very helpful for him.
Yeah, of course, and it's great that it's in there for him so he doesn't have to dip back in. It looks like we're getting our Turtle Rock play right here.
And he can do everything in there except defeat Trinax.
Yeah. Unless, of course, the Ice Rod is in there, which it tends to be more often than not.
Ah, just a big 20. So left side swamp not really having anything.
At least he knows.
Let's find out what's going on here. So there's some items out in the world that one player has that the other one doesn't. Dragonstrike needs to go back into the sewer chest to get that Cane of Samaria. And Ozzy needs to go defeat Armos, get the green pendant, turn that into Sahasrahla to get the mirror.
Nice, and of course with him being in Turtle Rock right now, he can't check Mimic Cave just yet.
Nope, so if that ends up being something that could be really big for Dragonstrike. Let's say it's like a G-Tower Big Key or something.
That's
a game ender right there.
Or as Chad is pointing out, Ice Rod in Mimic Cave.
Oh,
That would be bad for him.
Oh, there's another bee.
There's another bee.
3 bee torps. What's going on?
Who generated this seed?
Wasn't me.
What was it, Vitorp?
We can only hope. Ooh, there's the Mire Big Key.
So just the GT Big Key and the Ice Rod now.
Yep, that's all we need to know about.
We're getting close.
I guess it's nice that, you know, these items keep popping up in... Well, they've already done all the Pendant dungeons, so there isn't really any other place to put them aside from, like, you know, north of Graveyard or something like that, or Pedestal.
Exactly. Pendant dungeons have trolled them enough. The ultimate troll now would be to have something useful in every Pendant dungeon, mostly at the bosses, and then have nothing at Pedestal.
And we got Mirror.
Yeah.
That was the whole point, right?
Oh yeah, that mirror was big.
Sastrella.
And let's see what Argus has for us today. Just a big 20.
Yeah, unfortunately, aside from that first chest, there was nothing in this dungeon for Dragonstrike.
Well, at least it was a crystal, so he didn't waste anything there.
Alright, so what's on the playbook next for Dragonstrike at this point? You can go do Desert.
He's going to the mountain.
Gonna go get that flute.
Oh yeah, I certainly would.
What if he's gonna opt to go into T-Rock? It'd be so perfect if he did, because he could get that Mire Big Key, and then he could just do Desert and Mire in the same go.
Oh yes, that would be big for him. That's an awesome time save. I think we're going to see Mire play from Dragon right now. Since Flute is right there. Oh yeah, he's doing Mire without Sumaria at least, but he's probably hoping it's in there. He may have forgotten about the dark sewers, which I don't hope for him.
It might just, at this point, be one of those locations he's just hoping isn't anything. Same with, like, north of Graveyard.
Oh yeah. I've seen many runs lost to these locations.
May also be putting off until he gets a Castle Tower key before he goes back, since, you know, he'd be going back for one item. It is curious why he decided not to take the Death Orb at Ball and Chain Guy to go do it. He did have the blue mail and a lot of health, but...
Yes.
Still.
At this point, it's just unfortunate that he didn't do it.
Oh god.
The Thieves Down small key.
Gross. That's all you want to see ever.
No. Especially still missing that mirror. Do you do Armos first, or do you go back for that big chest?
Armos? Armos plus big chest, that's 3 items to 1. I would definitely go for that play.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
But we'll find out what he decides to do once he's done here. We're still looking for that Ice Rod, too. There's a shield.
It still hasn't found it yet. And he's going straight to the Mire area.
That mirror is giving Dragonstrike quite a bit of a lead, but it could all come to a screeching halt if he never makes his way back to that sewer chest.
So yeah, 2 trolley items in 2 trolley locations. Who checks it first?
Small key 2, Dark Palace, so...
That may lead him back in the right direction. Because Pod is one of our red crystals.
Come on, Ice Rod, where are you? Oh, Ozzy's got to be careful here, down to 4 hearts. Gonna opt to take the safety door to get out of here.
Oh, very smart.
Set it up, yeah. Oh, there's a small key as well. Are we still looking for small keys?
I don't think so.
Nope, it's Skullwoods.
I believe we have all we need. Well, technically we still need 1 more pod key, but...
Maybe a castle tower key. I don't know.
Yeah, we're still missing them. Yeah.
All right. Well, fortunately, T-Rock having the Mire big key, but nothing really else.
Yeah. Well, there's always the hope for Mimic Cave.
Man, it looks like he's going to be making that Eastern Palace play coming up next, so that's good for Ozzy. He's going to be getting his mirror from Sahasrara, and going to be making this race a little bit closer. Let's see if he decides to go do Swamp Palace afterwards or not.
Because I believe once he gets his mirror, and he grabs his flute after it, he just needs Ice Rod and GT Big Key.
Yeah, and the big key for Desert from the first chest in Swamp.
Oh, right, that was also there.
But he might opt to do Mire first, as opposed to going into Swamp, because, you know, you always want to go mode Swamp.
Yeah, and he can complete Mire now. We don't know which medallion it is yet, but they have all three, so that's no problem to our runners here. Here we have Dragonstrike going to work on Landmalas. See if they hold anything of value.
Well, he got two down. Poked one of them.
Just missing the one cycle. Very nice fight nonetheless.
50 rupees.
Well, that's useless. But
well, now that Dragonstrike got another pod key, he might opt to go straight to pod next.
Oh yeah.
Let's hope he does that instead of popping into Mire.
Especially since pod is also a red crystal, and he just got the first red crystal.
Oh, this might be it. This might be the play. If he goes to pod after he checks, you know, the chest inside Desert, he'll get his red crystal, and then that would send him to the pyramid to get the sewer chest.
Ooh, yes.
That would be optimal.
This may be really good for him.
So let's hope he doesn't make the Mire dive at this point.
Since Ozzy is nearing the Armos Knights, he's going to get his mirror real soon here.
Yeah, and Mire ended up being the Bombos medallion, which they got... Where did they get that? I don't remember. Doesn't matter. There's the other shield, so we got two shields out in the world.
And there's the book! So that's a few locations extra they can check right now.
That's not a good one to find. I hate finding late book. Especially book in Desert. That seems ridiculous.
Yeah, so
it's like that thing we were
Desert was mirror locked after all.
Yeah. And the gold sword.
And we have butter.
It looks it matches really nice with his gold Mega Man armor.
Oh yeah.
Just needs the mirror shield and be good to go.
They really did some nice work on the sprites here. Yeah, and we know at least one other shield, so the hope is alive. Since he's probably getting that Turtle Rock. And there Ozzy has his mirror.
Probably gonna go get that flute, and then let's see what he decides to do following that.
I'd expect him to do Mire with Desert.
He's gonna be frustrated though, because of the Mimic Cave thing. Oh, and it looks like Dragonstrike might be making that Mire play, which gonna cost him quite a bit of time. He's not gonna be able to finish it or full clear it without that big key. So we know the big key is in the Fire Rod block section in T-Rock. So that's kind of funny. You know, you had to dive into Swamp to get Desert big key and T-Rock to get the Mire big key. But where the heck is that Ice Rod? Where's that GT big key?
That's Randomizer for you.
No doubt.
Especially Keysanity. You have to make some weird dips.
Well, who knows? Let's see what he finds in here.
Well, he can check six of the item locations. Of course, barring Vidi and the big chest.
Also kind of surprised we haven't seen any Mire small keys out in the wild.
Indeed. Well, they should be glad since you don't need any, actually. You can complete it.
Yeah, but it's still nice to have for routing purposes. Because you try to go to the left, because far often than not, you actually have like one small key to go do the left side first.
That is true.
He remembered, oh, I don't, so I have to go play it normally. There's half magic, so that's a nice find.
That's nice to have. And I think we'll be seeing Ozzy following him, following right after Dragon Strike, now that he got his bird on the loose.
He's so... he needs to... I want him to go check the pedestal. Go do that and then go do other stuff, please. There's the ice rod! Woo. Okay, so that's... Whew.
So, yeah, that leaves just the GT Big Key to be in no mode.
Well, here's the thing. So Ozipone's gonna... He might go ahead and check portions of desert. He's gonna go ahead and definitely do Mire and get his ice rod.
Oh, yes.
He still needs to go do Swamp to get that Desert Palace small key. But the thing is, like, until we power Big Key, like, who knows how many, like, full clears of dungeons we're still gonna see.
It may just as well be in GT. I've seen that happen plenty of times in this tournament.
Yeah, Ozipone's going to be able to do all of Mire in one go, which is really nice. Get his Ice Rod. And, you know, I guess it's probably okay that he didn't have the Ice Rod the first time up to T-Rod, because if Mimic Cave ends up having something, now he'll have the mirror to check Mimic Cave along the way to going to kill Trinax.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be good for him.
He might also opt afterwards to go check at least the chest inside the front half of Desert, since he does have the small key for it.
Which I believe contain just a shield.
Yeah. But frankly, I'd rather do I'd rather double dip Desert than double dip Mire, which is what Dragonstrike's gonna end up having to do.
Any day of the week. Especially since getting entry to this dungeon takes so long with the full clear room.
Ooh, Hera, okay.
Oh, that's gonna lead him back to the basement?
Ozzy having a little bit of trouble in this first room. Having to do some laps. Dragonstrike still not having any extra small keys, so he's gonna have to walk all the way up here and around to get this one chest down here.
If this is a Mire small key, he's gonna be so mad.
There's the last shield.
Ooh.
He's gonna get that mirror shield when he goes to T-Rod. So yeah, Dragonstrike, what is the play? I think he's got to go back and do Pod, because well, yeah, he doesn't have any other choices.
Yeah, Pod is like hopefully leading him back to Dark Sewers.
I'm sure it will. Pod, Pyramid Fairy, Dark Sewers, in that order.
Oh, I hope so.
Boom, baby, just like that.
Maybe an Aga Tower in between.
Maybe. Maybe. So he's gonna get that. Yeah, actually, this is gonna work out well, because then he's gonna be able to do all of T-Rock in one go, so he doesn't have to double dip T-Rock. And I think
there's Ozipone's Ice Rod.
I'd rather double dip Mire than double dip T-Rock for sure.
Oh yeah.
And
this is going to be a really close race here.
If Pyramid Fairy ends up having like G-Tower Big Key, Dragonstrike is gonna be able to. He's gonna be able to go mode a good chunk of T-Rock. He'll get the Mire Big Key on the right side, the Fire Rod section, and then he can skip a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah, he can even dip out and get back later if he wants to. He'll probably finish it, of course, but...
Well, I hope he finishes it.
If he wants to end the game, he should.
If he wants to finish this race, it'd probably be a good idea.
And by extension, of course, stay in the tournament, because as we can see at the top of the screen, both our runners are at 1-1. And our cutoff point for our final 8 will be at 4-1.
Yeah, so anyone that takes 2 losses are out of the running. They, of course, are still guaranteed 5 total races. But they won't get to compete in the bracket stages of the top 8. But with 208 entrants in this very small, really quick tournament, getting top 8 is going to be really tough, especially for this game mode, which, you know, you know, there's still a lot of skill involved, of course, but out of like the normal opener standard, there's still a good chunk of luck that comes into play in Keysanity. Especially when it comes down to like G Tower Big Key being your go mode. Being your last item.
That can be in, I believe, everywhere except in Ganon's Tower Big Chest or Ganon's Tower after the gauntlet, which is 5 chests it can't be in, I believe.
There's 27 total. 22 you can get without the big chest, so yeah, 5.
Yeah. So that's 211 locations in the game where that GT Big Key can be. Good luck finding it.
Now, of course, we have had, you know, people drop out of the tournament and the numbers have changed, so when we get done with the 5 weeks, there might be a different number or amount, but we'll see.
So why is Dragon equipping the mirror? I hope he's not dipping out of here.
No.
Oh, good. He had me scared there for a second.
Might have just been an error. Small key. Oh, there was a pod small key in the big chest in mine.
We do find our last pod key, I believe. Yeah. Completely useless at this point for OZ, but at least we know.
The scary thing for Dragonstrike is he's going to end up leaving that one chest behind. He's probably wondering if his Cane of Samari is sitting in there. Thankfully, it was just 300 rupees.
What? Yeah, since of course he opted to open the Dark Maze instead of the Hammer Jump, and he had to open the center door, he's going to have to leave one chest behind without that last key. But he can't get the last pod key without the Cane of Samaria, so we'll probably never see him return here. And that was a very smooth Helmassar fight coming out from Dragonstrike. Getting his Hyrule Castle key, and probably thinking right now, I should do Dark Sewers.
So here's the thing, Dragonstrike will have to... He's gonna go do Pyramid Fairy, I hope. He better.
He probably does that.
And he'll get his... He'll mirror, go into the sewers, might even mirror to check the first chest in Ega. You don't have any keys, dude. You don't have any keys.
Where's he going?
You ain't got no keys. Get out of there.
He's just realizing it right now, I think.
No.
No.
Unless he skipped this key.
No, he did them all.
He's checking the chest. He's checking the big chest.
Oh, right. He forgot, which had, of course, the shovel.
Yeah. Okay.
Which led to a B-Torp.
Okay, good. I was like, where are you going, dude?
Huh.
Yeah, he didn't do the... Did he? I feel like he had the...
He had the big key,
the first time he was here? He just forgot.
Well, it happens.
Oh yeah, for sure. And a very, very easy, clean, easy peasy Vitreous fight from OZ. Those silver arrows making it...
Oh yeah, making it very
more like a mini boss.
Vitreous is one of those fights that goes from extremely hard with almost no resources to extremely easy when you have the silver arrows.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the shovel.
The thing is, the shovel is going to kind of send him away a little bit from doing Pyramid Fairy, so that's going to give ozipone a little bit of time. Now, the question is, for OZ, what do you do once you get that Desert Palace Big Key? Do you just kind of bank on G Tower Big Key being in G Tower? Or do you full clear Swamp? Because full clear in Swamp kind of stinks. And also worth remembering that there is a book in Desert as well, so we did unlock 2 extra locations. And there's always the pedestal too.
But and Dragonstrike, of course, having the OZ as well. They both have all the pendants, so they can pull the pedestal whenever they want.
And they probably would have had Sahasrahla not handed them that mirror.
Oh yes, definitely. And here Dragonstrike is going to do his Pyramid Fairy. So it looks like we're going to be looking at a very close race here.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this goes.
It's all really dependent on when Dragonstrike is going to get his Sumaria, which I hope he will do right here after Fairy.
Well, the nice thing for Dragonstrike is he's going to be able to finish all of T-Rock in one go.
Yeah,
if the G-Tower Big Key is in here, he is going to be able to skip a lot of that.
Oh, it looks like we're getting our pedestal check.
Oh,
ozipone is making his way up there right now.
300 rupees. And a mushroom.
And a mushroom. Another fetch quest.
Oh, gross. Well, he's got his
seed is
mirror
just-
out, so this is definitely going to be a sewer check coming up. So that's
This seed is just sending them all over.
all right. Pedestal.
No,
I wonder
he's
if
moving.
Ozzy's gonna.
Oh no.
Dragon Strike. No,
Dragon. No, don't. He's checking his mushroom.
You know, if he's forgotten about that sewer chest, that's just straight up GG. That's it.
That's really bad.
And the ped has a small key to Ganon's Tower.
Ganon's Tower.
The last
That's-
one, though.
That's almost a big key. It just needs to grow up a tiny bit.
That's frustrating, though.
And
You
that's
know,
a compass right there.
the game leads you to believe that you can do all these pendant dungeons, and then all of a sudden, boom, pedestal's nothing.
Oh yeah.
But the fact that it was a Ganon's Tower small key is even funnier.
So
Alright,
what
ozipone.
locations do we have left for the Ganon's Tower big key? Is it
We
just
have
GT, the tablets, and Mimic Cave, I believe.
and
Egga Tower.
and north of Graveyard. That's all we
Really?
got.
Oh right.
I think either player has made their way over there.
So that's not much.
And you know, the question is, do you just go for the G-Tower play? Because as soon as Ozzy goes into Swamp, he's going to get the last item he needs to complete all the crystal dungeons.
Oh yeah.
And he might opt to just go for the gamble and, you know, go mode Swamp. Go finish T-Rock and just hope it's in there.
Honestly, while he's there, he should probably just check all the chests, because it's going to really hurt him when it's not there.
He might skip left side, if anything.
That's true. Which will also cause him to skip the big chest, since Bicky was on the left side.
Now, I wonder if these guys are going to consider going back into, like, Thieves Town or Ice Palace to check those big chests. And the other thing is...
like we're getting Bumbo's tablet check.
Dragonstrike hasn't even made his way back to Zora's domain to get that big key on the ledge.
Oh right, we still have Ice Palace big chest as well. I don't believe that has been checked.
Yo, look at this synchronization. Hour and 42 minutes in, and we're
That's going to be a high five. And high five. At this point, GT Bicky is probably just going to be in GT.
I'm sure Ozzy was checking the... You know, it's always a good idea to check these on the way into Swamp, because if you can find what you're looking for before going into Swamp...
Oh, yeah.
The idea of go-moding Swamp is just... It's a beautiful thing. If you can go-mode it, please do. But we'll see what he decides to do, because that first chest in here is going to get him go mode minus the G-Tower Big Key. And of course, go mode just means you have everything you need to complete the game. Of course, in the general run, go mode is always, you know, everything you need to get all the crystals to get into G-Tower, because, you know, the G-Tower Big Key is always in G-Tower, but in Keysanity, the Big Key can be most anywhere, so...
And Dragonstrike is also pulling the pedestal right now.
Going
to be disappointed.
Small key. Yeah, for sure.
So how many Rage Slashes will we get here?
And
that's a Bombos.
Get a Bombos. You know, that seems fair. I feel like the only time you do that is if you feel like you're behind, and he might be feeling behind because he's still looking for that Canis Maria.
Yeah. Well, he definitely is behind right now, since...
Let's just hope he remembers instead of going into Thieves Town Big Chest. But who knows? If he goes into Ice Palace or Thieves Town and checks those, and they end up being like the G-Tower Big Key, that could be big for him.
Is he going to check Ether right now?
Might be.
I think that's all he can check up here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's too bad that he has to do that right now, since that's such a good check before going into GT.
I have a really bad feeling that he...
Oh, and he also can do Hera Basement. Since we did find that small key.
I have a feeling that he might have already thought, maybe in his general routing he always takes the Death Warp. He would normally take the Death Warp to go check Sewer Chest, but he didn't this time, but maybe thinks that he did. It's really easy if you mess up your muscle memory.
Oh god.
And then all of a sudden it's basically just like over until you run out of stuff to do.
And then there's a lot of backtracking, which is really hard.
Yeah. The worst thing you want to see is a player sitting on their pause button or their map screen. Then you know that they forgot. We've all been there. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
It's not a good feeling. Like,
we all know that.
Come on, I did that, didn't I? Oh, and then you go there and there's that chest sitting there like, you stupid chest. And it looks like Ozzy's going to go ahead and full clear this dungeon, opting to go ahead and do left side. I don't blame him. If G-Tower Big Key is in here, then he's sitting pretty.
That's always the safest bet.
Well, Dragon Strike got the iframes, but he didn't get the setup to just walk right through, so he's going to have to go hit that. Hopefully he's not stuck there, because sometimes the diagonals can be a little sticky.
Luckily he can mirror, but that's like a 30-second time loss. And to answer chat, Sumaria was in Dark Sewers, which we are all hoping Dragon Strike will return to very soon.
Okay, he wasn't stuck, so that's good.
And what does Hera Basement hold for us? A Smoky.
Oh,
To Castle Tower.
That's good. That's good for him.
Go there.
He's gonna send him there.
Come on, Dragon.
Now. Oh my god, that's perfect.
To Hyrule Castle.
That's exactly what he needs. Come on, let's go.
Go, go, go. We believe in you.
Oh, could you imagine if it was Hera Basement to get the Castle Tower key, to get the GT Big Key, like in the second chest?
Oh, that would be so mean.
Oh, poor Ozzy. He gets that Big Key, and I'm sure he's like, oh, this is it! And then it's vanilla, and you're like, oh, darn it. Go, go,
and
go,
we've
go.
also all been there. He's doing it!
Oh my gosh.
We have a race.
Alright, we'll have to ask him about this later. But he might have just been putting it off.
And he's going to regret it. Next race, he's just going there straight away.
I mean, the thing is, despite all this, well, he still has to go up to do T-Rock. That's the only downside.
Yeah, and
but what he can do is he can go to T-Rock, get the Big Key, and then leave and go do Meyer.
Yeah, but, well, at that point you probably just clear T-Rock and immediately go up to GT when you're done there.
Oh, he can't decide what he wants to do. Castle Tower or not. He wasn't expecting that to be there.
And he's going to do T-Rock. That also means we're going to see Mimic Cave.
This is going to be very interesting when it comes down to it. Because Ozzy still has to go finish Desert, but that doesn't take that long. And then he still has to go all the way through T-Rock. Dragon Strike's just going to go in here, get that Meyer key, leave, go finish Meyer, and then go right back. So these two might be neck and neck going into G-Tower.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially if the GT Big Key ends up being somewhere trolly, like in GT Basement. And we are going to see our Mimic Cave check here, so that may still contain our Big Key here. Meanwhile, Ozzy's making his way over to finish Argus and collect his Swamp Palace Crystal right here. Which would put him at 5 crystals, the same amount as Dragon Strike has.
So yeah, the Meyer Big Key is right at the beginning of this dungeon. It's in the Fire Rod section, where you light the 4 torches.
Oh yeah,
so
it's pretty fast.
Get that, and then I can't imagine him not bailing out immediately to go finish Meyer. He could like go all the way down to like Mimic Cave first, check that, and then mirror out or flute away or something.
Or he could just finish out Trinex before heading into Meyer. That would save him.
That would yeah. What am I talking about? That would make so much more sense. What am I saying?
We already have all our pendants out of the way.
Here's the thing: he's gonna have to walk back up Death Mountain anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
And he's gonna have to go through that portal anyway. So I think.
Yeah, but you probably don't want to dip back into T-Rock.
I don't know. I don't think there's a big difference, to be honest, between the two options.
That's true. It's probably just a few seconds. Since he can just make his way pretty quickly to Meyer. He already checked 6 of the chests. He may just get to the big chest. Wait, Dragon, where are you going?
Oh, please God, no.
He's skipping the Meyer big key.
Why? Why would you skip that?
Oh my God!
I mean, he might be. Maybe it's left side swamp to him in his mind or something. I don't know.
Ooh. So he just got a Sumaria, and now we have a new chest. We hope he goes back to.
It's over. It's over. He can't come back from this. He cannot come back from this unless G Tower Big Key is in someplace not GT.
Ice Palace Big Chest is left, I believe.
Yeah, but he still has to go get that big key if he wants to go check.
Or Mimic Cave. Yeah.
If it's Mimic Cave, then he's. No.
Oh, this is really bad.
Why would he skip that? Chat, why? Chat, I don't understand. I don't have any.
Well,
I don't know why he would do that.
Going back in after Trinex won't really save him since he's probably going outside somewhere else in the dungeon.
Okay, all right, hold on. We've actually seen this before. We've seen players skip those 2 chests and go, what the?
What was that?
It's Dr. Light, but it was a hologram. That was cool. We've actually, okay, all right. Hold on, shut up. Let me shut up for a second. We have actually seen players do this before, where they just go straight to Trinex and, maybe Trinex has what he's looking for, and then after he's done, he can just go back in and check the right side. So it's crazy, but it'll work. It'll be fine.
Well, of course, after that Sumaria, he probably feels really behind. So I can't blame him for that, but we do know he needs to go there.
It's a rare routing thing to see. But, that room does kind of take a little bit of time because it's basically an auto-scroller, so...
Yeah, and he's going to Mimic Cave, so once he goes back in after Trinex, he's going to be in for a bit of a walk.
Alright, I apologize, Dragonstrike, for throwing a fit. The routing option, it makes sense. Let's see, Mimic Cave. Is Mimic Cave going to be our answer today?
It's a valid gamble. And there's Riot Shield for Ozzy. And a Horde of Rupees.
Oh, that's... Oh. Why do all these seeds have to come down to G Tower Big Key? It's so awful. I hate it.
G Tower Big Key is either really late or at Link's house.
Right. It's either the first 15 minutes or the last, after 2 hours.
There is no in between.
Ugh.
Oh, we also still have the Thieves Town Big Chest.
Mm-hmm.
So GT, Ice Palace Big Chest, or Thieves Town Big Chest. That is all, I believe.
Yeah, Ozzy going to be right behind Dragonstrike. So with this, yeah, Ozzy's going to have a lead going into G Tower.
Oh, definitely.
By a lot.
So who changed the seat to 100%?
All dungeons? Well, Coaster wasn't technically required.
And Dragonstrike now rocking that mirror shield with the Butter Sword and the Golden Mega Man.
Yeah, it looks like Dragonstrike's definitely gonna need that G Tower Big Key to not be in G Tower. That's the only thing he's got going for him at this point.
And he has to make that play before Ozzy.
Yeah. Which is highly unlikely.
Right now in Turtle Rock. Probably going to take a dip in Mimic Cave and then just Trinex and GT. Why are you caning? You have Riot Shield.
Might as well.
Yeah. He has Riot Shield anyway, so...
Riot Shield is good to get up to the chest, but then you either have to hold your sword out to hold your shield, or be comfortable enough walking around the lasers coming out.
That is true.
It's a good play. I agree with it. And you're gonna get a full refill anyway. It does lag the room quite a bit, but I still think it's faster than charging your sword to. It's definitely not as fast as just walking it out, but
that is fair.
It could be a little tricky.
Yeah, you got to practice that strat a bit. And
Here
here we're going to see...
check Mimic Cave, gonna get his Rupee Horde, and then he's gonna be on his way to Trinex, not far behind Dragonstrike. Dragonstrike, on the other hand, still needs to go back into T-Rock.
Oh,
Get that Meyer key. Now, here's the thing, had he gotten that Meyer key, you know, he could have skipped a bunch of stuff in this dungeon.
Oh,
if he was feeling saucy.
It was a valid gamble, but sadly the wrong one.
Ooh, and he didn't take out the Firehead with the 3 hits.
Oh, and he can't switch to the Ice Rod right now, so gotta wait that explosion out.
Yeah, losing a little bit of time here. Thankfully, he has Gold Sword and plenty of magic, so it's not even that big of a deal.
He's probably really nervous right now, missing just 2 big keys. And after that Sumaria, he's just, I'm really behind. And taking out the snake very quickly.
So, for Dragonstrike's sake, he needs that G-Tower Big Key to be in the back half of Castle Tower.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, ozipone might, if after full clearing G-Tower, he might go do Pyramid Fairy next, since that's like probably the most optimal play, because it's 2 items versus all the single locations elsewhere.
And that'll lead him into Mushroom as well, so a bit more time. And he's going back in, good. Well, it looks like we may be able to do a guessing game in Keysanity pretty soon.
Oh, baby. I love big key guessing games. They're great.
Well, our runners don't.
Nope, absolutely not.
We're getting a lot of zeros in chat. They're all hoping it's in some far-off location like Ice Palace Big Chest or Thieves Town Big Chest or Aga Tower. And there's his big key to Misery Mire.
That's got to be frustrating, it being in the last spot every time. I think Ozzy switched to his Fire Rod by mistake and hit the Firehead with the Fire Rod. He was going to go for backdoor strats or the Zero Cycle, which is really nice when you can get it. But a little bit of a mistake there, going to cost him a couple seconds. No big deal, though.
He still has a pretty solid lead, I think, since Dragonstrike is right now going to finish up Mire, probably taking the big chest as well. And Ozzy's going straight to GT. Very nice Trinex fight from him. Very nice recovery. Of course, Gold Sword, Red Mail. He should have no problem. And now we have Ozzy just making his way up to GT.
Not a good first room for Dragonstrike and Mire. That one can be a little tricky if you don't get the, you know, if you don't do it quickly enough and then all of a sudden the Wizrobes are not in sync anymore.
Oh god.
Alright,
already seeing a lot of numbers in chat, so they know what time it is. The guessing game.
GT, we got some chests. We're gonna be looking and opening them. Yeah. How was that? Was that pretty good? Did I hit it? Did I nail it? Did I bring the hype?
The enthusiasm just came right off there.
Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure.
And Ozzy, of course, first checking the Ether tablet. Just getting a big 20.
It's a good check. Yeah, it's really scary. I doubt he's going to check Hair Basement before going in. He might, if it's not in here, though, that might be his first check, though.
Why is he equipping the flute?
Probably by accident. Gonna go left side first, alright. We're gonna be seeing some Dark Magician route, some stupid route coming up. We do have a small key here. It's not to GT, because we already have all the GT small keys, so it's probably to Mire. Be my guess.
Yeah.
It's the only ones we're still looking for at this point. Yeah, we have all the other small keys.
Do we have 2 Aga Tower?
Oh yeah, we're still missing a Castle Tower key.
Yeah.
And actually a Skullwoods key as well, I think.
All right. The left side, of course, being a good play, having the larger item density in GT basement.
There's our
And
last
there's
bottle.
Another
All 4 of
bee.
them were bees. What's going on? Small key 2, Misery Meyer.
Now I'm sure Vitorp generated his seed.
Can we get, like... I feel like at this point, the Ganon Tower music should just be the guessing game house, or the chess game music, the minigame music. Because that's what it feels like.
Oh, I love that.
And then, you know, then the G Tower music can kick in once you go up the gauntlet, because the rest of this is just, you know, goofing.
I would also accept the Benny Hill theme.
That'd be good too.
And Dragonstrike.
Just gotta do that and add like 2x speed, and then we're good to go.
Oh yeah, Dragonstrike making short work of Vitrius here, and he'll probably be right up on ozipone, going up to GT.
Small key 2. Ice Palace.
Ice Palace.
We're still looking for another Ice Palace small key. Oh man. I mean, here's the thing. Let's say Dragonstrike goes up there, but he goes right instead.
Oh, that could be big.
If he goes straight Tower Room, oh man.
This could really come down just to GT routing decisions.
There's some bombs. There's a blue rupee. There's a bomb upgrade. There's some bombs. And Dragonstrike, I think he's going for the Castle Tower play.
Ooh.
This might be big.
I do like that.
I mean, let's say it is in Castle Tower. Like, let's say it's in the second chest. For ozipone, he needs to go... Once he's done full clearing this, he'd have to go Pyramid Fairy.
Ooh.
And then get the Castle Tower key to immediately mirror and check that. Ignoring the mushroom, though.
Ignoring the mushroom and not getting distracted by Ice Palace big chest or Thieves Town big chest.
Yeah. It's a pretty gutsy play to go ahead and do this. I kind of wish he had gone ahead and done this way after he got his Venus Mario.
And there it is!
Oh, it was in Bob's chest!
Bob's chest!
And there it is! The big key. ozipone, head up the gauntlet.
We have go mode!
2 hours and 2 minutes. We got go mode. Oh man, Keysanity, real fun. Great.
Oh
great
yeah.
place to put the big key. Well, that's
So, whoever guessed chest number 12, congrats, you guessed correctly.
good job.
You
Yeah,
win.
That's man, unfortunate for Dragonstrike. To be honest, like Dragonstrike was the first one to get that mirror, which really opened up the rest of the seed. But just skipping that Kana Samaria for so long caused him to do a little bit of extra stuff that he probably didn't want to do.
Yeah.
The double dip Meyer was unfortunate. Everything else was pretty good though. So.
Oh yeah, these runners are pretty solid in their decisions. Yeah, just the gambles you sometimes take. Sometimes they're the right ones, sometimes they're the wrong ones.
We'll be curious to see if it was a mental error as to why he put off the sewer chest for so long, or if it was just a choice.
Oh yeah, I'm really curious about that as well. I can understand the choice, but I just feel so bad for him leaving that for so long.
Yeah, that's how it goes though. It's no different than like if it was like Catfish or something, but
Exactly.
Catfish is a little obnoxious to get to compared to the sewer chest. Isn't too bad when that death warp is always in play.
Yeah, it's just a bit of skill and a bit of luck, and sadly luck was not on his side here.
Yeah, even though he did have that blue tunic and plenty of health, the death warp still would have been faster overall. But you know, hindsight and whatnot.
Yeah, always.
Anyway, ozipone gonna be heading into that Land Wolves 2 fight. He's gonna opt to use the powder to get some health up here, and I wonder if he's gonna run right in. All right, see if he can get this off despite causing the spawn rate to change on these guys.
And he missed the zero
one.
cycle.
Yeah, unfortunate. Missed a second.
And another one.
Yeah, basically the land molas start spawning as soon as you enter that previous room. So the longer you take in that room, the longer time that they have to start spawning. They of course will still stay underground. It's just usually they queue up one at a time. But when you chill in the previous room and walk into there, they'll all spawn up at roughly the same time, depending on how long you took.
Yes, it can make hitting those silver arrows just slightly harder. And Dragonstrike looks like he's opting to do the right side first.
Which, unfortunately, is not the right move to make. Unless he goes all the way to Ice Armos from this direction.
He's skipping Tar Room though, so that at least saves him a bit of time.
Yeah, pretty decent gauntlet from ozipone, aside from that Lane Mollis 2 fight. Which, don't blame him, that one can easily get away from you. You know, for me, if I have the gold sword, I opt to just use the gold sword and fire rod.
Oh yeah, that's really fast. He has to be feeling the nerves right now. Just 2 hours 5 minutes after getting a troll from the GT Big Key right there, and not seeing a dot done yet.
I don't know. I
There's
feel
the
like
map to Skull Woods.
I feel like it would have been more a troll if the GT Big Key wasn't in GT. I think GT being Big Key being there was perfectly fine. The only thing is, like, you know, of course you want to go mode dungeons.
Yeah.
And now you're thinking like, oh man, I could have go moded all of Swamp after I got the Desert Key.
It keeps you out of go mode for so long.
Yeah.
Was he opting to skip the validation chest?
The what chest? The Moldern 2 chest?
Yeah, probably to the dismay of chat.
Probably because he doesn't need it, because he has silvers.
He has everything.
For gold and...
He has everything he wants.
Gotta play to win. Every second counts. Let's see this Agaty fight, by the way. Yeah, not a very nice spawn.
Oh man.
He's gonna get a double out of it, though.
He's gonna get a very nice double, though. That's...
Oof.
Oh,
if he would have lined up right at the door, he could have probably got the 2 out of that one.
This one's pretty nice, though.
Ooh, almost
getting another double.
More to go.
Oh.
Nice.
And there he goes. Very nice Aga 2. And Ozzy now off to fight the Big Big.
Alright, let's see this Ganon fight. Gold Sword, he's only got to do 6 slashes on the first 2 phases, the general 4 slashes, and then 4 silvers to take him down.
Oh,
Half magic. He doesn't have any safeties outside of, you know, potions. He does have the cape and the cane. Almost full inventory, actually.
He also has B-strats.
Yeah. It's very useful. Like seeing the dash strats. Gotta be a little careful, though. Sometimes you can accidentally just get a little Ganon hug out of him. But that's 2 phases down.
Short work of this fight. With the butter sword and silvers and red mill, this fight just becomes trivial. Pretty much. Also with 17 hearts, which is quite a bit for a randomizer. Dragonstrike right now making his way down the left side. Going to be finding his GT Big Key real soon here.
Here's 1 silver. 3 more to go. Gonna get a double out of that one. Yeah, enough time to get that 3rd, and that's gonna be it. That's Ganon dead for you. And as soon as
your GG's out in chat.
Walks through that door.
ozipone. And he's almost there. And ozipone finishes in first place with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 8 minutes and 53 seconds. GG ozipone.
GG, and with that, ozipone moves on 2-1 in the tournament. Going to be keeping his tournament life alive a little bit longer.
And Dragonstrike finding his GT Big Key.
Dropping down to 1 and 2. He not going to be in the running for that top 8, but he of course still has 2 more races left. 3 more races left ahead of him.
Well, at least that's some practice for the next tournament in spring.
Oh, for sure. ozipone does not have a microphone, but will be listening in on our conversation, so we can go ahead and ask him questions, and he'll type his answers in chat. I think that's the plan, right, Ozzy?
He's probably moving to chat right now.
Oh, he's in there. He's already in here right now.
There he is.
Yo,
GG ozipone. Congrats on your win. So how did you feel about this seed?
Ooh, Dragonstrike's gotta be careful. He's probably gonna have to opt to go get some fairies.
Oh yeah, he has plenty of room for that in the next room, right there.
Yeah, Ozzy, the question is, like, when you have Dark World access less than 8 minutes in, and not just like, you know, glove and hammer, but actually mitts, which opens up even more, like, what do you do at that point? Where do you go first? What do you like to do? Do you still like to take out Light World locations, or do you just dive right in? Because
this
both
early
are
seed
good
was
answers.
really free. You did not have any guidance at all.
Yeah, it was interesting because your opponent decided to finish out the majority of the Light World before finally diving in, which made for some slightly different routing. You know, they had a sword early because they made the Skullwoods play right away.
Skullwoods, of course, having our first sword this seed.
Oh, Zipone, I already know. Was your favorite part when you finished Mothula and then you found the Master Sword on Bumper Cave? Ozzy says, I think it depends on where you are. Portal close to you and you could go to Dark World, I think.
No, people cannot hear Ozzy because he does not have a mic, but he will be typing his answers in chat.
Yeah, it was interesting. Both you and Dragonstrike were at the Moth fight around the same time, both fighting with the same amount of equipment, and both taking him out without, you know, even getting that close to death. I think Dragonstrike maybe was down to 2.5 hearts or something.
Yeah, both very beautiful moth fights. And Dragon, of course, still making his way up the gauntlet. He's going to be getting up there really soon now.
Ozzy, how'd you feel about that? Not only just the mirror at Sahasrara, but how the seed made it basically so that you could do all the pendant dungeons pretty early. I'm sure you were thinking, obviously, because you went and checked the pedestal, that pedestal was going to have something, but then you get the mirror instead, and you're like, no, no, what do I do? Oh, the big chest in Thieves Town, and the big chest in Ice Palace? Yeah, because you find the Ice Palace big key after finishing Ice, and you're like, I'm not going back, no way. It was even funnier that the pedestal had a G-Tower small key instead. You're like, close, but not close enough.
Pedestal was very tempting indeed, since both our runners pulled it.
Yeah, I think one of the hardest things about this game mode in general is just when do you make the play of... If G-Tower Big Key is the only thing you're looking for, do you just go straight to GT? Do you check if you overworld? If you still are doing a dungeon, do you go mode it or do you full clear it? It's really hard to read, and, you know, it's a make or break moment, because of course, you go mode a dungeon and then it ends up being in there, it's over. We were wondering too, because after you got that Desert Palace Big Key, Ozzy says he was thinking of doing that in Swamp, and of course, he got the Desert Palace Big Key in Swamp, which was his go mode outside of the GT Big Key. So being able to do all of Swamp, or do the minimal amount of stuff in Swamp is always nice, but, you know, that's such a risky, it's a risky move.
Just where you're not in go mode, skipping chest is always a risky move. But yeah, sadly, it didn't pay off in Swamp.
Let's see the Saga 2 from Dragonstrike. Getting a double on the first phase.
Oh,
a little close.
He does get one though.
That's good.
He may get a triple here. Oh, that counted as 1.
Nice. Good fight.
Oh, no, very nice Aga 2.
Yeah, he's not going to be too far behind finishing. Maybe 10-minute difference.
It's going to be just a few minutes indeed, so pretty close race overall. Just a few gambles which didn't pay off.
I guess last question for you, Ozzy. How you feeling about now moving on 2-1? How you feeling about your chances in the tournament? Getting that top 8 finish or spot? Ooh, look at that downward facing Ganon. Well, I guess no. Huh. I don't think Ozzy did not get that. That's why did he get a different pattern?
That's weird. Ozzy saying he doesn't even hope for top 8 because he doesn't have that much time to play currently.
Oh, fair enough.
Well, you're still in the running, so you still get to try anyway.
Yeah, he's still got 3 more races ahead of you.
2 more. Since he is 2-1 right now.
Oh yeah, 2-1. Yeah, so two more. Got it. Yeah. Round 4.
Well, it's still a pretty respectable score.
Happens when Ganon warps and you get directly in his path. Oh.
And Dragonstrike right now working on phase 4. Going to finish up pretty soon here.
Get to the tiebreaker and sandbag. Don't do that. He's so close.
And this is, I believe, is going to be his last silver hit. Oh, barely misses that one.
And there you have it.
And there it is.
Yeah, 183 out of 216 is quite a bit.
Ooh.
Sanity. But
Yeah.
this was, aside from the not having to kill Coldstare, this was essentially all dungeons.
Oh, yeah.
Dragonstrike coming in second place, finishing with a time of 2:17.29. So roughly about eight odd minutes.
Yeah, still a very respectable time. Still in the top end of times here.
Let me see if Dragonstrike wants to join us, chit chat about the seed. Want to ask him about that sewer chest that he put off for so long.
And how he felt when he opened it. A very respectable time. Still in the...
It's like Dragonstrike is joining us in chat, so he might also be of the individuals
he's also
without a
there
mic.
indeed.
So Dragonstrike GG. One big question for you was the sewer chest, which had the Cane of Samaria. You had two moments to go check it, really. The first time doing Hyrule Castle with the Death Warp after the Ball and Chain guy. And then I think again when was it? There was another time he was there, but he fluted away instead.
The big fairy. When he got mushroom.
Oh yeah, Pyramid Fairy, yeah. Curious to hear what your options were. Okay. So it was an option to just put it off and just hope for the best. Yeah, that's the thing, is like it always seems to happen. It's like I'm going to purposely put off this one location and hope it's nothing, and then of course every time you do that it ends up being something.
Oh yeah. And whenever you don't put it off, it's the single rupee. Or something like that.
Or like you put off Catfish forever and you're like, nah, it's gonna be nothing. Then you go up there and it's the Fire Rod and you're like, oh.
Aye.
But yeah, overall, like it was an interesting to see. Dragonstrike was the first player to head into Swamp and full cleared it, so we got information about where the Desert Palace big key was. Ozzy was
Also the first player with Mirror.
Into T-Rock, where we found that Meyer big key, so we're like, all right, each player has the other person's keys that they also need. So
yeah, it was pretty fun to watch these two race, with them completing each other, actually.
Yeah, it was very back and forth for a while. I can't really chalk it up other than to just that sewer chest putting off. Of course, when Dragonstrike did finally get it, he did get to do all of T-Rock in one go, as opposed to having to come back. But what else was there? Yeah. So we did see you actually go and check Castle Tower before finally heading up to G Tower. Was that just because, you know, one more location, might as well go ahead and do that now?
The mushroom was in Pyramid Ferry, Ozzy.
Yeah, because I believe you did Meyer, and then you checked Castle Tower before heading up to do T-Rock, I think is what happened. Which, you know... Or no, you had already done T-Rock, so you were doing that before you headed up to G-Tower. So it's like, if you find it there, then you can just, you know, go mode G-Tower.
Yeah, which would save a lot of time.
We were wondering why you didn't do... If you were going to go ahead and do Castle Tower, I guess a better time could have been to do it right when, right after you got the Cane of Samaria, since you were already in the Hyrule area. But, of course, you know, you just get the Samaria, and you're like, oh, whatever, I'll go finish these dungeons, and maybe I'll find it there. So, I guess... Everything was an understandable choice, and especially when, you know, turning nerves and finding an item really late, and you're like, I know this is costing me a bunch of time, so it's like I'd rather just go immediately respond to those as opposed to doing other stuff.
That's the time where you have to pull out the crazy gambles.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, guys, I think that's going to do it for us here on Speed Gaming. Coming up next for Keysanity, at least, on this channel is going to be at, as far as I know, it's going to be at 9 o'clock, the ACMLM versus TGH, which is probably going to be one of the most hype matches of this round. That's going to be a good one. If you're looking for more Keysanity action, you can head on over to Speed Gaming 3, where a race just started, and as well as at 3 p.m. What time zone am I in? At 6 p.m. in 40 minutes, there's going to be another race at Speed Gaming 4. That's a quad. Yeah, and then another one at 8 on Speed Gaming. We got it. It's a big day for Keysanity. There's a ton of races. It's loaded tonight. Yeah. Also, you know, if you want to check out there's plenty of races also going to be going on over on the ALTTP Randomizer channels 1, 2, 3, and 4. So hit those up if you feel the need. But yeah, that's going to do it for here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, for watching. Of course, big shout out to our tracker today, Dudu. Thank you so much. GG's to both of our runners for putting on an amazing race. That was a good one. It was a very interesting one. And of course to Caladrius for joining me on commentary. First time commentating, right? Yeah. So how did I do? How'd you feel? How'd you feel overall? Sometimes a bit stuttery, but decent overall, I think. Yeah, I think you did pretty good. Thank you. So, and of course, thank you for pulling me through this first commentary. Oh, no problem. It was a pleasure. But alrighty, guys. Well, coming up on this channel is going to be a Super Mario Odyssey tournament race. That's going to be at the top of the hour. So stick around for that. Well, don't stick around for that. I mean, do come back for that. Don't stick around. We still got a little bit of time before that starts. So, but yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you at the next one.